beautiful.
Hi, are you Alex?
That's me.
Okay. How are you?
Call me Daniel, actually. I changed my mind.
Okay, Daniel.
So, tell me about yourself.
I like to go hiking and I listen to music sometimes.
What kind of music?
Okay, I thought this was a date, not an interrogation. Are you even the real Alex?
Of course I'm the real Alex. Why do you think I'm not?
Your profile photo.
I thought the whole point of a blind date was to not know about physical appearances. I thought you were just gonna be surprised about that.
Okay, well, this was fun and all, but I think I should get going.
Well, let's take this. Happy Valentine's Day.
Thank you. You're so sweet. Have a good day.
My name is Ryan McDeermond. I'm a teacher here at Forsyth Central High School, a science teacher here. I've been teaching here on and off for the last 8 years. I've been in education for 16 years, and I'm the current sponsor of the National Honor Society. So the National Honor Society is a service organization. It's a nationwide sponsored by the National Association of Secondary School Principals. National Honor Society is a pretty competitive program. Countywide, we have a minimum GPA requirement of 3.80. You have to be in your junior or senior year in order to apply. We also require students who have committed to leadership prior to joining our club. I'm involved in the application process. I lead a team of teachers who are involved with reviewing those applications. It's a blind review, so I help make sure that that process is fair. What we do as a charter here is that we work on community service activities, honestly any way that we can serve others. My job is to help develop those leaders, to help select and get them to the point where they can run the club. Recently, back in December, we were part of the Winterfest here, which is part of the Heart of Forsyth, the central cluster. And so we look for ways that we can help out, whether it's setting up events, tearing down events. And then I also have several officers that are involved in my club, and each of them are tasked with leading their own service project. One of my officers led an activity where we rode get well carts for patients at Northside Hospital. They thought it would be a nice thing to do for the patients there. Coming up soon, we're also going to be involved with Heart of Forsyth Spring Festival in March. The students commit to these ideals, these characteristics of scholarship, leadership, service, and character.
Found these pairs of shoes, and I said, I didn't know what shoes those are. And he also said he didn't know what shoes those are. Then he threw me into the lake.
That's wild. Anyway, what's your favorite soccer team?
Oh, gotta be Bayern Munich.
All right, not bad. Who do you root for during the World Cup?
Germany, no exceptions.
But why?
Because they're just the best.
No way. Brazil is the best.
Oh, come on. Give it a few more years, we'll be number one. Remember 2014?
Brazil still has the best wins, though.
Your time in the sun is over.
No way. Brazil is and always will be the best at football.
Football?
So, has 70...
Hold on, we talk about football?
Football.
Yeah, same thing. No, whatever.
Let me tell y'all right here, okay?
So, we've won 57 Super Bowls in a row. You Cubans and Austrians, or whatever you dang are, or have won none of them. Y'all suck. No, it ain't. No, it ain't.
USA.
Hi, I'm Heather Hanlon, and I teach AP Art History at Forsyth Central High School. So, the story of Julius II commissioning Michelangelo to do the Sistine Chapel ceiling is a very interesting story because Julius II had pretty much just taken over the papacy, and his uncle had created the Sistine Chapel. But it was a really weird building, and there were like soldiers' quarters over it, and it was taking some serious damage. So by the time Julius II started renovating the entire St. Peter's Basilica and everything, he decided that he wanted the ceiling done. And it just so happens that he had Michelangelo already there sculpting his tomb because Michelangelo is a sculptor. And then Julius realized he wanted the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel redone. And so he calls Michelangelo in there, and Michelangelo's like, "Can I help you, sir?" And he's like, "Yeah, you see this ceiling? What do you think of this ceiling?" And he's like, "Yeah, it's okay. I mean, it's a blue star sky. It's what everybody else has. Why? It's not a big deal." He says, "Well, it's kind of damaged. We probably need to do something with it." And Michelangelo's like, "That's great. You can go ahead with that, right?" And he's like, "Well, I want you to do it." And Michelangelo looks at him, and he's like, "Well, sir, I am a stone carver. That is why you brought me to Rome, not to paint your ceiling. If you really need somebody to paint your ceiling, in case you've forgotten, like a block over there is Raphael, and he's a great frescoist, and he can do it for you." And Pope Julius II looks at him. He's like, "No, that's not what I said, sir. I want you to do the ceiling." And Michelangelo looks at him, and he's like, "Why would I paint your ceiling?" And he says, "Well, you're from Florence, aren't you?" And Michelangelo's like, yes, I am." And he said, "Well, then you should know how to do a fresco, because Florentines all know how to do fresco. That's what they do." And Michelangelo's like, "No, sir, I am a sculptor. I am not a frescoist." And he's like, "Well, I don't really care." And so Michelangelo was very, very unhappy because he was getting paid to sculpt a tomb with 40 life-size sculptures that he just got put on hold. And he's really petty about it. He's really angry about it. And he starts to do the Sistine Chapel ceiling, and then he gets just really angry about it. He hates it, and so he runs away. And Pope Julius II, for just so you know, is called the warrior pope. He's like the scariest pope of all time. He leads armies through the Romagna. He's like a scary guy. And so when Michelangelo runs away, Pope Julius literally sends the papal forces after him to go find him. Now, Michelangelo is at least smart enough to know not to go to Florence because he's already run away to Florence before and they found him. So this time he hides someplace a little bit different. And when the papal forces get to Florence to look for him, he's not there. But then somebody occurs to them, they're like, "Wait a minute, if Michelangelo's not in Florence, where else would he go?" Well, outside of Florence, not too far, is where the Carrara marble mines are. And of course, Michelangelo, being a sculptor, he knows the Carrara marble mines. And so they finally find him there, and they drag his heavy behind back to Rome and make him do the Sistine Chapel ceiling. He hates it. He works on it for 3 years, of course, with a bunch of apprentices. And every minute of it is excruciating. There are sketches of him drawing like with his head up like this, and he's got a full beard, and he's got crap on his beard, and he like it's fallen in his eyes. At one point he was actually blind, and this goes on forever, and it's just horrible. And so at the very end, he's almost finished, and Pope Julius comes in there and is like, you have to have it done by this date because we have a big papal thing we have to do in here. And Michelangelo looks at him again. He says, it will be done when it gets done. And Julius says, no, it has to be done on this date. And Michelangelo gets so mad at him that he starts throwing things off of the scaffolding at the Pope. Okay, so it doesn't go well from that point out. The other thing that I love about this whole story is that Michelangelo left all kinds of just kind of jabs at Julius. He puts, the whole ceiling is covered in nude males, right? Because it's what Michelangelo does, which are called the ignudi. But the ignudi are just lounging on all these acorns, which is essentially the family crest for Julius, the Della Roveries. And at the back wall of the Sistine Chapel ceiling is Zacharias, and the model for Zacharias is Pope Julius himself. And Michelangelo has put these two little putti, which are these angels behind him, officially giving, how you would like me to say this, giving the painting of Julius the finger for eternity. So I think the thing that's different about art history, and one of the reasons that I love it, is that it's done the way that art history has been done, or our history has been done throughout time, and that's storytelling. We've always sat around fires and talked about what was important in our history, and that's how people learned about it for centuries and centuries, and I feel like that's the element that's been lost in teaching history. My class brings that back because I'm a natural storyteller and I just love to tell stories, and so I think that that's why people like to take the class, because they get to learn about not just on this date this king did so and so, and on this date this war happened. They get to learn why people do what they do, because people have been doing the same crazy things they've been doing for millions of years. Honestly, we still put our handprints on the wall, we still draw smiley faces just like the first rock we ever pulled out of the water. Humans don't change, and that story engages us. So hopefully I will get to see you guys next year for AP Art History, and you can join in on the storytelling.